Okay, so the current wave that we see in hip hop right now, the brother made an observation and it was very key, and that's the fact that it's the Crip season. It's the Crip season in music right now, with the exception of Game, because he put out an amazing project. But yet and still, we see the rise of Crip artists. And this was exasperated and propelled by the death of Nipsey Hussle. I attended the funeral, and I was like, this is Crip church. This is a Crip recruitment tape. You feel me? Because you got a chance to really see the strength of that nation, and it was a monumental display of strength and unity. Even though we know from the stories and the history that what I'm saying, there's a lot of infighting. What I mean? Fratricide and all of that goes on, but nonetheless, what we also bore witness to is this resurgence in Crips making music, and the music, being out of here. So you got Blueface, you feel me? Of course, you got Nipsey, and in Brooklyn, you have Fivio Foreign, right? Representing the Woos, which is a conglomeration of Bloods and Crips, but in particular, Big Drip, which was his song, talks about Shorty sucking on a Crip dick. So, you gotta put one in the Crip department for that, and then you got Pop Smoke, and you have the other facts and the rappers that are underneath them, and they're connected to GS9, which is Bobby Shmurda and them. And what's very interesting about the way that I make observations of hip hop, I deal with it regionally and also through fashion. So even on the West Coast, Rich Crippin and all of that dealt with fly Crip shit. Nipsey and them was getting fly, they was going to the stores. Roddy Ricch and all of them, Son get fly, he talk about labels, he get jigged, they get clean, they get money. You see him in farms, you see them iced up. Blueface is he look like a fucking iceberg out here. He's frozen. Like, these niggas get jigged, they get money, they emphasize that aspect of the lifestyle. Fly Crip shit, In New York, you see the same thing. And me personally knowing and being around Nipsey from 07 to 08 to 09, I definitely know that he was clicked up with Brooklyn Crips over Franklin. Like, they was part of the entourage. And they was putting them on to certain fashion trends. And the thing about the convergence of those areas, those are the old stomping grounds for boosters. Franklin Avenue was the meeting ground for boosters. Franklin Avenue is where the ADOS, converge with the Caribbean aspect of black people in New York. You feel me? And the ADOS more so concentrated in Brownsville and Bed-Stuy. Those are your foundational blacks that come from down south. Foundational blacks that come from down south occupy places like the outskirts of Queens, and St. Albans and shit like that. Foundational black families in New York that migrated up here and worked hard and bought some of them houses. To the Caribbean influx in areas like Canarsie, Flatbush, East Flatbush, Flatlands, all up and through there. Those strongholds were Caribbean families that now came into the country, saved up and bought houses, and their children were provided somewhat with better lifestyles than in other parts of the city, but nonetheless, they also shifted towards, the streets. In the streets around there, the main emphasis is on swiping. More so, it was boosting back in the days, but now it's more so swiping. So these children are children of that particular criminology cloth. You dig what I'm saying? They be up in them stores getting jigged, fucking with them labels. The energy and something that I participated in, in my younger years as well. So I know the terrain all too well. I know what I'm looking at. And, young niggas getting fly and shit like that. They got dances to go along with it, just like Blueface had his dance, so there's a wave because they connected with the youth. And Tekashi did brand damage for the Bloods. It's gonna take a lot of work to kind of clean that up. Cardi B can't carry that alone, because of where she's at in her career And once again, the criminality associated specifically with the Bloods, but gang culture, period, she has to kind of step away from that. You know what I mean? She definitely can't be up there, trying to resurrect the the Blood Nation and shit like that. It's too hot. So the Crips is gonna, they're gonna Crip walk all over this shit, for as long as it is allowed to take place. And you know what I'm saying, no federal probes rain down on that. But I ain't wishing that on them young brothers. You know what I mean? And also they're gonna keep the flame lit until GS9, until Bobby Shmurda come home. And Bobby Shmurda will then send the throne, and he probably in no time crowned king of New York. And then that's gonna start an entirely different, gang surge. You know what I'm saying? And they also have active adversaries in that space. You know what I'm saying? With the Blickies on the scene. And these young men from Crown Heights, you know what I mean? A consortium of GDs and shit, folk, representing that particular energy. And these young men don't get along. You know what I'm saying? These young men don't get along. They're in very close proximity to one another. And as more people touch more paper, the guns is gonna get bigger and louder. You feel me? So hopefully we don't see any tragedy befall our young brothers that are caught up in this trap. You know what I'm saying? Trapping and drilling. You know what I'm saying? But on the side of talent, I like what I'm seeing. You feel me? I think that the brothers represent something refreshing, because I always knew that there would be a convergence, and Flatbush always represented the hidden secret and the biggest threat in the music industry because of the proximity that these young men have to the Caribbean. Now, hip hop was born out of a Caribbean influence. It comes from the 2-2 calypso beat, and it was impregnated through the hands of someone from the islands, Kool Herc, who was implementing the Sound Clash, system at that time. So all of these elements go into it. These young men represent a convergence of American ethos and Caribbean background, spirit, and energy. So the dancing is going to be there, the mixing between reggae, as you see Afrobeat explode on the scene. That sound is now an international sound. The calypso and the reggae beat is now something that has the world under its influence. It just morphed into something else. And in hip hop, you're going to see it morph into a hybrid as well. So these are the young men that's going to be able to utilize the convergence of these elements to create new sounds in hip hop. And it's going to be the trap merged with the drill, merged with what's the shit in London called? Grime. You know what I'm saying? Merged with reggae or dancehall for that matter. And then whatever the young boys in New York end up calling this, the hybrid shit that they create. So yeah, it's some interesting times that are gonna come out of hip hop, because with Griselda and them giving a new staple to definitive New York sound, bringing that back and reminding people what the grimy 90s sounded like. And then you got these young dudes coming out of Brooklyn who have defined their own new style, which is a hybrid of other styles as well, but it still feels New York. You know what I mean? Yeah, like the youth that are bearing witness to this and cooking up their own style. You know what I'm saying? It's a consortium and combination of both styles, because that's how New York niggas gonna do. They gonna mix it up like motherfucking, rice and beans. Yeah, I can't wait to see what comes out of that. You know what I mean? Hip hop got a lifeline. You know what I mean? It has a lifeline. And at the same, it's killing itself and it got a lifeline. And that's the narrative, you know what I'm saying? That's the narrative. That's always the race and the pace to see which one is gonna win the race. You feel me? The giving new life or choking this shit out. The birth rate is at 0. You know what I mean? But there's still new energy coming through.